Kamala Harris, a name synonymous with ambition, with breaking barriers, with the very future of American politics. Her journey from a district attorney to the Vice President of the United States is nothing short of remarkable. But behind every powerful figure, there's often another, less visible force shaping their trajectory. These unseen influences can be pivotal in the rise of a political star. Enter Tony West, Harris's brother-in-law, a man whose presence in her life is both personal and profoundly impactful. A man whose corporate ties have cast a long shadow over her political aspirations. His career in the corporate world has been both illustrious and controversial. While Harris campaigns on a platform of championing the working class, advocating for social justice and equality, West's career tells a different story, one that is deeply rooted in the corridors of corporate power, one intertwined with the boardrooms of corporate giants like PepsiCo and Uber. His roles in these companies have been significant, shaping policies and strategies. It's a connection that has fueled both admiration and apprehension, sparking debates about the influence of corporate interests in politics, leaving many to wonder, who is Tony West, and what influence does he wield over one of America's most prominent politicians? His story is one of power, influence, and complex relationships. West, a lawyer by trade, has built a career that spans both public service and corporate leadership. His legal acumen and strategic mind have made him a key player in various high-stakes environments. Boasts a resume that reads like a who's who of powerful institutions. His expertise and connections have made him a sought-after figure in both legal and corporate circles. His time in the Obama administration as Associate Attorney General cemented his reputation as a legal mind to be reckoned with. His work there was instrumental in shaping key policies, but it was his subsequent foray into the corporate world, first with PepsiCo, where he navigated complex legal landscapes and corporate strategies, and then with the ride-hailing behemoth Uber, where he faced challenges and controversies head-on that raised eyebrows and sparked debate. His decisions and actions in these roles have been scrutinized and debated extensively. Could a man so deeply embedded in the corporate world truly be a force for good for the everyday American worker? This question looms large over his career. It's a question that has followed West and, by extension, Harris throughout her political ascent. Their intertwined paths continue to shape the narrative of American politics. The arc of Tony West's career is one of remarkable breadth, encompassing both the hallowed halls of government and the high-stakes arenas of corporate law. His journey is a testament to his versatility and adaptability, navigating through complex legal landscapes with ease and finesse. After establishing himself as a formidable legal mind, he rose through the ranks to become the third highest-ranking official in the Justice Department under President Obama. His tenure was marked by a commitment to social justice, tackling issues like mortgage fraud and financial misconduct with a zeal that earned him both praise and criticism. West's role in the Justice Department was not just about enforcing the law, it was about shaping it. He played a crucial part in significant legal battles and policy decisions, making a lasting impact on the justice system. His efforts in addressing social justice issues were particularly noteworthy, as he took on cases that many others would shy away from. His work on mortgage fraud and financial misconduct cases showcased his dedication to holding powerful entities accountable. He was a relentless advocate for fairness and transparency, often finding himself at the center of high-profile legal battles. His approach was both methodical and passionate, earning him a reputation as a tenacious and principled lawyer. Yet it was his decision to leave the public sector for the allure of the corporate world that truly set tongues wagging. In 2012, West joined PepsiCo as general counsel, a move that surprised some who had come to view him as a stalwart of progressive values. This transition marked a significant shift in his career, raising questions about his motivations and future direction. At PepsiCo, West was tasked with navigating the complex legal challenges of a global corporation. His role required a different set of skills, focusing on corporate governance, compliance, and risk management. Despite the initial surprise, West's tenure at PepsiCo demonstrated his ability to adapt and excel in a corporate environment. Was this a betrayal of his principles, or simply a pragmatic decision to leverage his skills on a different playing field? The debate continues, but what is clear is that West's career choices reflect a deep understanding of the multifaceted nature of law and governance. His move to the corporate sector was not just about personal gain, it was about exploring new challenges and opportunities. Whatever the motivation, West's time at PepsiCo was short-lived. In 2017, he was lured away by the siren song of Silicon Valley, accepting a position as chief legal officer at Uber, a company then mired in controversy over its labor practices and corporate culture. This move was yet another bold step in his career, placing him at the heart of one of the most dynamic and contentious industries of our time. At Uber, West faced a new set of challenges, dealing with issues ranging from regulatory compliance to labor disputes. His role was crucial in steering the company through turbulent times, working to reform its practices and improve its public image. His efforts at Uber highlighted his ability to handle complex legal and ethical issues in a fast-paced, high-pressure environment. It was a move that would thrust him and his connection to Kamala Harris into the harsh glare of the political spotlight. West's career trajectory, from government to big business, underscores the intricate interplay between law, politics, and corporate interests. His journey is a compelling narrative of ambition, adaptability, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. West's arrival at Uber coincided with a tumultuous period for the company. Accusations of sexual harassment, a toxic work environment, and ethically dubious business practices had tarnished Uber's reputation and sparked a wave of negative press. The company was under intense scrutiny from both the media and the public, with every misstep magnified and criticized. Adding fuel to the fire were the ongoing protests and legal battles with drivers who argued that they deserved the rights and protections of employees, not the precarious status of independent contractors. These drivers were vocal and organized, staging rallies and demonstrations to make their voices heard. It was into this maelstrom that West stepped, tasked with navigating the company through a legal and public relations minefield. His role was not just about damage control, but also about steering the company towards a more sustainable and ethical future. His tenure was marked by a concerted effort to rehabilitate Uber's image and address the concerns of its critics. West initiated a series of reforms aimed at transforming the company's culture and operations. He oversaw the implementation of new policies aimed at improving driver safety and combating discrimination. These measures included enhanced background checks, mandatory safety training sessions, and the introduction of new app features designed to protect both drivers and passengers. He also played a key role in negotiating settlements with drivers, seeking to quell the tide of litigation that threatened to engulf the company. These settlements were part of a broader strategy to resolve disputes amicably and avoid protracted legal battles. However, West's efforts did little to appease those who viewed Uber as a symbol of corporate greed and worker exploitation. Despite the changes, many critics remained skeptical, arguing that the company's fundamental business model was inherently exploitative. To them, he was simply another cog in a machine designed to extract profit at the expense of the little guy. The challenge for West and Uber was not just to implement changes, but to convince a skeptical public that these changes were genuine and not just a facade. The road ahead was fraught with challenges, but West remained committed to transforming Uber into a company that could be both profitable and ethical. The question remained, could Uber truly change, or would it always be haunted by its past? Section 4. Whispers of Conflict. The specter of conflict of interest has loomed large over Kamala Harris's political career, fueled in no small part by her relationship with Tony West. Critics argue that West's deep ties to corporate America, particularly his time at Uber, raise serious questions about his ability to objectively advise Harris on matters related to labor, technology, and corporate regulation. They point to the inherent tension between Harris's populist rhetoric and West's history of representing the interests of some of the world's most powerful corporations. The potential for conflicts of interest is undeniable. However, it's important to note that there's no evidence to suggest that West has ever used his position to improperly influence Harris's policy decisions. Furthermore, Harris herself has repeatedly asserted her independence, vowing to always put the interests of her constituents first. Still, the perception of a conflict remains, and it's a perception that Harris will have to contend with for as long as she remains in the public eye. Section 5. Harris, a leader in her own right. Despite the cloud of suspicion cast by her brother-in-law's corporate dealings, Kamala Harris has consistently presented herself as a champion of the people. Her supporters argue that she is a woman of unwavering principle, guided by a deep commitment to social justice and economic equality. They point to her record as a prosecutor and later as a senator, where she fought for criminal justice reform, affordable health care, and environmental protection. Her supporters maintain that Harris's relationship with West does not diminish her commitment to progressive values. They argue that she is capable of separating her personal and professional life, making decisions based on what she believes to be in the best interests of her constituents. They point out that she has not shied away from criticizing corporate misconduct, even when it meant taking on companies like Uber, where her brother-in-law held a prominent position. To them, Kamala Harris is a leader who stands on her own 2 feet, guided by her own moral compass, and not beholden to the interests of any one individual, regardless of their relationship.